Hello and welcome to the Scale Modelling Cafe, and welcome to part one of the new project, and it's this ClearProps H-75N. Now I've already done a sprue tour on this particular kit, so I'll stick a thing at the end of the video, so if you haven't seen that you can go and actually see the sprues and the contents in detail, and detail is where it is at with this because it's fully riveted and the rivets are really fine, so it's going to take some really careful painting. A little known version of the Curtis P36 P40 Hawk series, this has fixed undercarriage. It was a cheaper variant of the P36 for the export market, and some really interesting schemes in here. Right, as is traditional with a part one, let's just go through some of the extras. So I'm not going to go through the actual kit again. You can go watch the sprue tour, but yeah, 2 bags packed full of highly detailed parts. Some of the aftermarket then. I've got the SBS models seats. Specifically here for the ClearProp kit, you get 2 seats actually. It says P36 H75 seats, so if you have a P36 you could use these, maybe even P40, early P40s, I don't know, but you get 2 seats in there. No seat harnesses, which is what I prefer, and the reason I got these is the kit, the one place this kit is let down is in the seat. It's really quite thick and clunky and not that detailed. So I bought some resin replacements and they look really nice. Right, I'll talk about that bit in a minute. So this is, what do they call it? The advanced? Yes, so this is the advanced kit. In that you get a copper photoex set. So reminds me really of, you know, the old Verlinden stuff. It's very fine. On here we have seat harnesses, instrument panel, and various other little details, ring and bead sights, so that's really welcome, and some actuators for the control surfaces, things like that. So that's going to add a really nice level of refinement. Also in that is, also I've got the kabuki type canopy masks. See, it's a birdcage type canopy, so I'm just a big fan of these sorts of things, and I'll pay 5, 8, 10 quid for a canopy mask set just because I can't be doing with. It's fairly easy, but you know, I'd rather spend the money, so I got that. On the other side is the kit decals. They're from Decograph, lovely decals, but more about the markings in a moment. I bought so the Edward don't do a specific photo etch set for this, probably because you get photo etch in the kit. But I bought this set because it's got a colour photo etch harness, the instrument panel. This is for a P40B for the trumpeter kit. I thought I might be able to use the instrument panel pre-painted, but I don't think I can. The system in the kit's actually quite good. Alright, the instrument panel's not painted, but you do get a decal as well, and the system is you put the decal down on the plastic blank instrument panel, and when that's dry you paint up the photo etch panel and you plonk that on the top. The way I'm going to tackle that is I'm going to paint it a very dark grey and then dry brush black. What I can't stand is when people dry brush instrument panels in a lighter colour to highlight the detail. It's the wrong way round. It's contrast invert. The bezels are normally darker than the surrounding side, so that's what I'm going to do. But there's some nice extra little bits and pieces here that I can use in the cockpit and around the airframe, hopefully, on that. And that was only cheap anyway. Some more actual ClearProp details. So ClearProp, a little bit like Edward in that they do their own detail sets. I've got the pitot tube set. The pitot tube on these had a little sort of dangly bit on the bottom, which is depicted in resin, and the tube is turned metal. I'm assuming it's turned. This would be good for early P40s as well, and some of the later P40s actually. So if you've got any P36s, P40, Bs and Cs, certainly I highly recommend this. It's only cheap, and again that will add that level of refinement to your model. And the last bit is this, which is resin exhaust and engine rib, is what it says. Essentially what it is a replacement resin sort of firewall and exhaust pipes that are sort of fit around there. They're hollowed out, and again adds an extra level of detail and refinement, especially if you have the cowl flaps open. So that is that. On to the instructions and markings then. I really like their instruction booklets actually. Comprehensive paint guide on the front from Ammo, as you would have seen from the video. There are some parts here that are not for use. I know they do the South American version in the other boxing. I'm wondering if that's for that, but I'm also wondering if maybe some of those parts are for a P36. I really hope that they do a P36 version, because that would be amazing. Right, going through here, where's the markings? I'll go to the end. Right, there are lots of different markings in here. So hang on, let's have my glasses. I'm getting old. Right, so the 60th Squadron in Nakhon Phanom in Thailand, 1940. So the Americans called that Naked Fanny, didn't they? Back in when they're flying out of Vietnam. So that is the stripy Thai markings. Then there's a later one, it says 5th Air Wing, the Thai Air Force, but it doesn't actually give a date, and they're the roundels, the sort of modern Thai roundels. So that's probably later in the war. And then on the back is another Thai one, but it's got these funny markings. It's 1944 of like an elephant, white elephant in a red background. So that's quite cool. So that's tricolour. So what I should have said was really, the first one with the stripes is tricolour camouflage, as in a sort of reddy brown colour, a darkish green, and a sort of sandy buff type colour. And then the other one is just two-tone, so it's just the green and the light brown. That one is the 3 colours. And then there's an all-over, I'm assuming it's grey, let me just check it out. Yeah, light ghost grey, it's, oh no, silver. It's an all-over silver. I think that was a silver painted one. And that's got the Thai roundels in 1941 of an unknown unit. And it's just basically the roundels. So some really interesting colour schemes. The one I'm leaning towards at the moment is the 3-colour Taiwan. Well, they're all Taiwans. Taiwan. Thai as in Thailand ones. The stripy ones. Because I think with my Infini cutting mat, in fact, I'll get that out. This thing, which has got all the grooves in it, so you can accurately do straight parallel lines. I'm thinking I can spray those markings on. And I think that's going to be the way I'm going to go. Obviously, I'm definitely going to paint the rudder, which is comes as a decal, but definitely going to paint it. Which will just leave the decals. There's like a squadron badge thing on the middle fuselage, and there's some lettering on the tail. Yeah, so I'm going to have a go at that, because as if you've seen the sprue tour video, you'll see that the rivets are really very, very, very fine. So I'm going to use MRP paints. I'm going to try and get away with not doing a primer coat. I might just sort of run primer over some of the main seams just to check them. But I'm going to try and keep the paint coats as thin as possible. And if I'm going to spray the markings on, then maybe I can get away without a varnish as well. Maybe I'll just do a little bit of gloss varnish just where the decals are going to go, and then seal it all in at the end with a sort of matte or satin varnish. That's going to be the plan at the moment. Now, if you've seen any of these part ones and then fast forwarded to the painting and weathering part of each project, you see I don't always stick to that plan, but we shall see. We shall see. There we are. Really can't wait to dive into this one. I'm a massive fan of Clearprop. I think they do some exceptional kits. I think they're very much under the radar. I've built a few of their kits already. The 72nd Polycarp of I-16, which is coming out in 48 scale soon, and the 144 Sonia. I've got the 72nd Sonia in the stash, and also the MiG-23s, which I really want to do MiG-23 very soon as well. There we are. I'll leave it there. Right, all I need to do now is get cracking. So thanks very much for watching, and check out the cockpit, which is going to be part 2. Cheers, bye-bye.